Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chef Marshall O'Brien here, and welcome to our show, Cooking with Confidence. We've got a great recipe for you, but before we get into that, I'm so glad to be cooking with you tonight. Awesome studio kitchen here. I got my awesome right-hand gal, Miss Jonna, and we are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, thanks to my fantastic production team. In theory, we're trying, and we're going to be on many more platforms here as the weeks approach. So definitely check it out. I want to make sure that you are following us on Facebook, Chef Marshall O'Brien. Follow us on Instagram at Chef Marshall O'Brien. And as I mentioned, if you are not able to do the show with us in real time, you can watch it on demand on our YouTube channel, Chef Marshall's Cooking with Confidence. So make sure that you go there and subscribe. We will have tonight's show links for our shows and all that fun stuff that we talk about in the chat box. So make sure you get that wherever that chat box might be on your browser or device that you're using. Now, we made this show for three things. First one is we want to help you gain confidence and skills in the kitchen preparing great tasting and nourishing foods. Number two, we want to help you get some sanity and get the stress out of your life by doing some easy meal planning with our great tasting recipes. And number three, we want to teach you how to nourish you and your family and not just feed you and your family. So I'm really excited to have you here. Tonight's recipe, we are doing a cod and papillote with tomatoes and dill. Now, who speaks French? I know somebody does who's watching. Let me know how to pronounce it correctly. But we'll talk about what that means here in just a second. Great recipe, and it's actually surprisingly easy. Wonderful flavor. You're going to love it. It's also really kid-friendly. Talk about that too. We have, as you can see, oh, by the way, you might be saying, well, what am I seeing? You see the ingredients. How about the recipe? Make sure that you have that recipe and shopping list so you can cook with us in real time. We have cod, we have some cod, we have tomatoes, we have celery, dill, some parsley, a little salt and pepper, some olive oil, some lemon. Really, really simple. Great tasting recipe. I can't wait for you to participate and do this. This is awesome. Super excited. Love doing the show. We started off with a pilot, and the response was very, very positive. A lot of participation. And I wanted you to be aware that even if you can't watch it live, you can still watch it on our YouTube channel, Chef Marshall's Cooking with Confidence show. Take a picture of your finished product and send it to us. Okay, on Facebook, you can put it in the chat box, and then we can acknowledge you, and we'll be acknowledging folks from the last episode in a little bit, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But let's get into tonight's recipe. Now, and papillote means basically like a paper bag to cook in, wrapped in paper, and you could do it with foil. We're using parchment paper. It's fun. There's a little finesse at first, but once you do it, it's going to be pretty simple. And again, the more you practice. Hang on one second. We're having some audio. Why is that on?
To confuse you.
Thanks. Well, you can have it on, but don't have the audio on. Turn the audio off or turn it down. Sorry about that. That's the fun thing about doing real live stuff here. As I was saying, with the parchment paper, there's a little finesse at first, but it's actually really quite simple, and we're going to walk through that, and we're going to make a great recipe, and you're going to love it. And whoever you're cooking for is going to love it. If it's just you, if it's you and someone else and some family, going to love it. I guarantee it. To get started, make sure that you preheat your oven at 400 degrees. So you get that going, and I certainly do. Then we're going to make the marinade mixture. Now, this marinade mixture that I'm talking about marinade is basically liquid, and so I have a very fancy marinade. Basically, we've cut up a bunch of vegetables, and then we add olive oil, salt, and pepper. So marinade might be a strong, a glamorous way to say chopped up veggies with some olive oil and salt and pepper. But that's what we have. We're going to make that first. Folks, while we're cooking, questions, comments, thoughts. What do you want to know? What are you working on? Does this intimidate you? Does it excite you? Let us know in the comments, in the chat box. Tess, so glad to have you here. Cindy, I'm glad you were able to make it too. That is awesome. Good evening, everybody. Sharon from California, way to tune in. I love it. BK, good evening to you as well. Awesome. So first, we're chopping up our ingredients for our marinade. I have some celery here. I'm going to be making half a batch for myself, and because I have half a batch in the oven thanks to TV Magic. But this is all going to make sense as you're watching. For those of you that just tuned in, if you're wondering where to get the recipes, you can sign up for free to get the recipe and shopping list in advance so that you can participate with me in real time or whenever you are going to be able to cook the recipe. Again, go to our YouTube channel, Chef Marshall O'Brien's Cooking with Confidence Show on YouTube, and you can watch it if you can't watch the whole thing tonight, which is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, we've got some beautiful celery that I just chopped up. Thinly sliced, chopped, thinly sliced. We're doing a few things. Next, we're going to take some tomatoes. I have, any comments, thoughts? Hi, Steve and Diane. Love to have you here tonight. This is great. We're going to add olive oil to our bowl. You can make this mixture in advance so the flavors will be a little more incorporated, and if that's something that helps you save a little time. I'm all about saving time and making life easier, making life easy for you in the kitchen. So as you are doing these recipes, think about what will be simple for you, or what do you need to, like making this in advance. Just think about stuff like that. Do you using dry herbs, are you using fresh herbs, whatever it is to help get all the barriers out of the way. I want to be able to do that for you. Got a little salt and pepper we're going to put in there. I'm going to have some tomatoes. I have some cherry tomatoes here. You could use grape tomatoes if you want. When you are slicing, hey, let me know in the comments, folks, scale of 1 to 4. 4, superstar. 1, I'm still learning how to hold the knife. How are your knife skills? If you've been following us for the last, 7, 8 weeks now, I would imagine that your knife skills are getting better every time. But let us know. I want to know, where are you? 1 to 4. 1, I still need help. 4, I'm a superstar. Where are you at? My point is it's all about just a little bit of practice every day. A little bit of practice. And all you have to do, maybe 1 minute a day of using those cooking skills, of those knife skills. Really simple. I'm going to add, just mixing this up here, and then we're going to add some parsley. It's going to be really tasty, really fresh. This is a very fresh recipe, very festive. Now the recipe calls to use just the leaves. I'm pretty flexible when it comes to preparing dishes, and ultimately I just want you to be able to enjoy what you're cooking, and I don't want you to waste food. So if you want to use the stems, you can do that, and you would just maybe cut them a little small so that they're a little more palatable, but they're not going to be too tough to eat by any stretch. It's parsley, so that's just something that you can, just to keep that in perspective. Now, I have pet chickens, and I love my pet chickens, Meg, Rose, Ginger, and Harriet. I'm one of those kind of chicken people, right? But anyways, I'm going to save those and give them to my lovely ladies that are living in the back. Just to be clear, for those of you that just jumped in and you're wondering what's he talking about, my pet chickens. They like the fresh parsley and the herbs and all that. So I'm talking about knife skills, right?
Yep.
Notice, folks, I'm letting the knife do the work. I can go really slow. I can go really fast. It's up to you, but just feel comfortable. Feel comfortable when you cut it up. Make sure you feel comfortable. Questions, comments, thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
Let's see. Shelley says, although I have cut my fingernail before.
Well, you know what, Shelley? I have cut a few fingers as well. Just kidding. No, but I have cut a few fingers, and I've nipped them. And a little side commentary on that, Shelley, is the few times that I have cut myself seriously, I was thinking about something. I was busy. I was chopping, whatever, slicing, dicing. I actually know the 2 times that I really whacked myself really bad, I was cooking with sweet potatoes. I happen to cook with sweet potato yams, the orange ones, a lot. But I had something on my mind, and I wasn't present. So the moral of the story is be as present as you can so you don't cut your fingernail off. Because, Shelley, how'd that feel? I'm guessing not so good. Okay. I didn't feel good for me.
Question.
Yes.
Tess wants to know, can you add feta cheese and Clamata olives to the marinade or sprinkle on top after it's ready?
Yes, you can. Funny you say that, because I actually just did a salmon recipe, same technique in Papillote, and we had artichoke hearts, Clamata olives, tomatoes, onions, feta cheese. It's really, really tasty. Yes, you can do that. And I want to kind of just step back to a bigger question. Oh, by the way, folks, you're going to take half of the dill and reserve it from this marinade mixture, okay? Again, you can do this in advance and let it just marinate and marry and get happy and sassy in your fridge the day before if you want. But to test this comment, I want to step back a second, because when you think about preparing these things, if you have an idea of bringing in an ingredient that your family likes and they're going to enjoy it, put it in there. And we got a lot of awesome recipes on our website, chefmarshallobrien.com. Certainly here at Facebook, scroll down, we got access to stuff. And go to Instagram, Chef Marshall O'Brien, and you can get more fun ideas on how you can pizzazz up your recipe. So I love where you're going with that test. Try it out and see how it is. And I know that you enjoy Mediterranean cooking, and what you're talking is definitely Mediterranean inspired, so I know you're going to hit a home run when you prepare that. I want to know how it is. Take a picture, folks. Whether you're making your own thing or you're doing tonight's recipe, we want to know how did it turn out for you. So please let us know in the chat box by taking a picture and putting it in there, because we're going to highlight it pretty soon. All right, like I said, I've reserved some of the dill, and I have my mixture all set. We're going to slice up some lemons. If you want, if you prefer, you could just put the lemon juice, you could do directly in there. Maybe you have some lemon juice left over. Or you can do what I'm doing according to the recipe, and you make thin slices. This is another good example of how you can just practice your knife skills. Anything that you can do today that you were not doing yesterday that's positive is progress. So keep it up. Just keep trying. This takes a little bit of some dexterity here so that you don't slip and smash your lemon. But I think we got the idea here, and we're going to slice. When it's all said and done, we're going to slice up 8 slices for the whole recipe. So I have 2, 4, 6, and 8, plus a little extra for good measure. But we don't need those ones. But I have my lemon slices. Okay, put that in advance. We're gonna make that now. And my oven is preheated. It's ready to go. That's excellent. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to wipe my hands here. We are going to start assembling. Make sure when you're putting your recipes together, the more organized you are, meaning you have your recipe, your ingredients, you have whatever tools and that sort of thing, it's going to be easier for you. And you'll actually have more freedom in the process of cooking, because you're going to be down a pathway, and then you can divert as you want. But if you're just going in thinking, I want to make this, but do I have the stuff, and I don't have much time, and you're thinking about other stuff, it's going to be a lot more challenging. So that's a good tip to keep in mind, is to just be prepared, and then more organization, the more freedom you have, which is pretty awesome. Right. We now have our parchment paper. So a quick word about the parchment paper, folks. On the recipe, we say 20 inches long piece of parchment paper. If it's 25, 27, 28, at the end of the day, if you're not used to this technique, giving yourself that extra paper, you can always trim it. Once you've done it a few times, you will be able to do it with really easy, and it'll be, again, really easy. So we have a nice big piece of parchment paper there. We're going to take half of the cod.
There's a question.
Yes.
From Rosie.
Rosie.
Your mom.
AKA my mom. Good evening, Rosie.
Hi, Mom. Is cod a more delicate fish than salmon?
Yes, cod is a more delicate fish than salmon. It's going to fall apart. It's very mild in flavor too. So when you think of different kinds of fish, you have light tasting, flaky fish. You have more oily, more full flavored. It's going to be a more fishier isn't the right word. It should smell fresh. It should smell like the sea. It should have a mildly sweet aroma to it, but it'll be more dense fish. So the oilier the fish, generally the more meaty the fish, and then the lighter, less oily, the more it flakes and that stuff. Great question. Appreciate it. We put our cod, half of our cod, on the sheet pan. This is really fun because when it's all done, it is going to be like this just beautiful colors and arrangements, and it's going to be really neat. We're going to put half of our mixture on top, just as I did here, and it's okay if it doesn't stay totally on the fish. I love providing kid-friendly recipes whenever possible. And a comment about kid-friendly. Kid-friendly can mean that it's something that they can help you assemble. It can mean something that they're going to enjoy. And frankly, pretty much any kinds of foods can be kid-friendly when a parent or grandparent or whoever's taking care of the kiddos, in my case, parents, us, with our kids, when you expose them and expose them to those new foods and give them the opportunity to try. Kids' taste buds change every other day, especially when they're, like 6 years and younger. So you just got to recognize that, and they want to go, they're trying foods and they're thinking, oh, I don't want this to kill me. So they're a little apprehensive, but that's okay. So let them try it. They like it, great. They don't, no big deal. Move on. But this is something that they can help assemble. So it's a great way for kids to participate. If you feel more comfortable preparing this in 2 batches, you can certainly do that. It's pretty easy to handle, but that's just something to think about. I'm also, you notice I have the gloves on just because it's easier for me not to have all fishy, gummy, stinky hands while I'm assembling, and it's a good cross-contamination food safety type setup. But ladies and gentlemen, doesn't this look fun? I mean, look at how cool that is. Now we say 8 slices. If depending on the size of the fish you actually cook, you might have less than 8 slices of lemon. But you get the idea. I mean, this is so cool. I love this. Now I love this next part. Questions, comments, thoughts? How are we doing?
Cindy says, I have been following you and learning from you since you did cutting skills classes for childcare providers.
Well, Cindy, it is a real pleasure. I didn't know that you were in the childcare world. Let me just give a quick shout out to childcare providers. Childcare providers are one of the pillars of our community, and so many people rely on childcare. So I really applaud you for what you do, and you play a huge role in helping the community. And when you take care of yourself and you have the tools and support you need, you can then obviously better take care of the community. So Cindy, thank you. You're awesome. I'm so glad that you're able to do this, and you're taking care of you and making awesome, great tasting meals. So awesome, awesome, awesome. 2, the cod and papillote. Do we have anyone speaking French watching us tonight that wants to correct me? I don't have an ego on this. I want to learn. So let me know. We're going to take, as recipe states, you're going to fold up the sides, okay, just like this. I happen to put some foil underneath just for extra clean, easy cleaning. But we're gonna fold it, as you can see, like this. Then I'm going to mark each side, and when I say mark, I'm going to crease the sides just to give me a little help on folding it, because at first it might look a little like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff, but it will make sense in just a second. So I am folding it, and then I'm creasing or marking it, as I said. See, now it kind of stays in place. And what's happening is it's creating a pocket for the juices to heat up and steam and help cook the fish, and it's super fantastic. So we have it now like this. And as I said, if your fish if the pieces are bigger than you're comfortable handling, you can do it in 2 batches. Same approach. Just have 2 pockets, two bats. Then we're going to try to do 3 folds. So we have 1 fold, 2 folds, and then we're going to do a 3rd fold. You can do 2 methods on here. If you want to make it easy for yourself, take a metal paper clip. Okay, make sure that it's metal and not plastic or have a rubber coating, because now you got all sorts of funky, weird stuff happening in your oven with that. So if it's metal like this, it's safe to use. And you're just going to slide it on there. I mean, that is super cool. Again, really fun way to prepare your meals. Having kids involved, you can use any kind of fish. So like Rosie, aka my mom, was asking the difference between salmon and the cod. You can add, try different fish with it. You're going to cook it a little bit longer, depending on the kind of fish. If it's a denser fish, that's fine. But this is a really cool way to make a fun presentation. We're in the holiday season now, and we're trying to make the holidays be normal given the lack of normality in our world right now. So why not bring some new recipes that look fun, inviting, festive, give some more oohs and ahs, and it's so simple. I mean, you saw what I did. I just sliced up a few vegetables and put it together, and doesn't get any easier than that, unless somebody does it for you, which in this case, I'd be doing this for you. Those of you who don't know, Jana is my right-hand gal, so you're welcome. My pleasure. All right, questions, comments, thoughts. We are going to put this in the oven, 400 degrees, 12 to 15 minutes. Another tip I want to present to you is you could actually do this whole thing in advance. So you have it ready to go when you come home. It's like this in your fridge. Take it out, heat up your oven, boom, great tip for you. Have it prepped in advance. Now your parchment paper, if it's good quality parchment paper, it will stay intact. So you might want to consider it, will the liquid break it down? Probably not, but just something to consider. So we're going to pop this in the oven, and we're going to let it cook, like I said, till it's nice, tender, and steamy. We were off last week because of Thanksgiving, but the episode before was fantastic, and we had a lot of great participation. So I want to show you a couple of highlights. Check this out. We have Sandy Richmond says, "Thank you for sharing your talents. I'm always in a rut of what to make next, and thanks to me, you're out of that rut." We have here Pam Jacob. Oh, this was a great one. Pam says, "Served with basmati rice, so good even my picky teenage sons." This is a big challenge here, folks, who do not like squash. God, we got a second heaping helping. You know when you get a second heaping helping, you hit a home run. So well done, Pam. I love Pam. Thank you so much. You watched it in real time, and I hope all of you get to do that and others as the episodes go on for your cooking and nourishing pleasure. Loved it. Amy Varab, this one is amazing. She loved the inflammatory benefit, the turmeric, the preventive benefits of the butter squash, and the health benefits of the lean protein. And it tastes amazing. Absolutely. All of the recipes that we do, appreciate y'all sharing that, folks. All of our recipes are awesome. They taste great. They're nourishing. They're going to work for you, not against you. You can get our recipes and our Smart Nutrition Cookbook. Just go to smartnutritioncookbook.com. Over 70 recipes, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, teaches you how to meal plan, teaches you how to set your kitchen up for success. So go to smartnutritioncookbook.com right now. If you have kids in college, if you've got young professional kids that are busy with kids, get them this book right now, folks. smartnutritioncookbook.com is going to make their life so much easier. It's going to save them time, save them energy, give them a pathway to make awesome meals. All right, so that's that on that. We are going to check on Thanks TV Magic. I've got our recipe done, so we're going to pull that out of the oven and take a look at it. Questions, comments, thoughts? Jana.
Dominic, let's see. Dominic says, "I'll try to give you some fresh large French sorrel leaves for wrapping, baking fish next summer for a lemony tang."
I love that. Did I hear, Dominic, did you say French sorrel? Very cool, man. That is, really appreciate that. Very generous. Love that. That would be awesome. Oh, actually for wrapping and baking. I missed that part. That is cool. Yeah, that's a big heart like. Love that. Speaking of loving it, folks, make sure that you let us know what you think of these recipes. I want to put your comments in the chat box. Just like we just showcased people from the last episode a few weeks ago. That was awesome. We're also going to be in the weeks ahead streaming on various platforms. I think we're on YouTube tonight. I don't know if that actually happened, but anyways, let people know. We also, folks, if you have friends that want to be doing this with you, you could have friends simultaneously in the comfort of your kitchen, just like Pam did a couple weeks ago on our Facebook page here at Chef Marshall O'Brien. Share the link, chefmarshallshow.com. We've got it in the chat box so that you can get the recipes and shopping lists in advance, and then you can cook with your friends, with me, in real time. Have a good time. Don't cut any fingers or fingernails, and just have a great time. All right. Yeah.
Isn't that the other one?
What's that? We're having some kitchen confusion, ladies and gentlemen. Jana is trying to take over the show. What can I do for you?
Isn't that the one?
That is not the one.
Okay.
But you know what? But the way this week has been, it's quite possible that I could have pulled the wrong one out. Now you got me questioning, is this the right one?
Nope.
I'm pretty certain that this is no, because this, yeah, we're good. All right, so the moment of truth, folks. We are going to open up. It's hot. It's a hot pan.
That was...
No,
okay.
I switched it. I switched it.
You
I
did.
switched it. Yeah,
okay.
see, here we go. Just, you get the little marital dynamics going here. Yeah, we thought we could, it doesn't stop when in my studio. Never mind. Okay, moving forward.
Oh.
All right, we're going to be having a conversation after tonight's episode. Again, empapillote, encased in the paper to help create the steam to make an awesome dining experience here. You can see the steam is popping out. That's exactly, folks, what we want. Oh, you can actually see the steam on camera. Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, to Jana's concern, you will be relieved to know that I got the right fish.
I am relieved.
All right. I want to just go back to Rosie, aka my mom's comment too. We talked about cod, light, flaky fish. You can see how, and I'll just sort of tilt it up here a little bit, but you can kind of see how it separates. And there's a couple different signs, folks. When you think about preparing fish, some people get intimidated by it. Some people tend to cook the heck out of it, overcook it. And some of the signs that you can tell when it is done is again, depending on the type of fish, is how the flesh will separate. So you can see with that cod, it will pull apart a little bit. If it's tilapia, it'll pull apart a little bit. Salmon, not so much. You want to have a fine line of firm to the touch, tender. You don't want it mushy. You don't, overcooking it. Then it dries out. Something to keep in mind. But this looks absolutely beautiful. Again, this was a half batch. That was probably 3/4 of a batch. But at the end of the day, when you make it, you can do one big, beautiful one, or you can do it in 2 batches. So
Tess wants to know.
Oh, yes, Tess.
What would you serve for a side?
What would I serve for a side? Probably, I'm even thinking I might not serve a side. I might just have it like this. Or I would do maybe a green salad. I just think so light and refreshing. If you want to have any kind of starchy carbohydrate, depending on what you eat, maybe a side of some saffron brown rice. Now, not a lot of people have saffron, and I just pulled that out of my pocket. I have saffron at home. I don't cook a lot with it, but maybe a nice savory light brown rice might be nice, or maybe some couscous might be nice, or a green salad, or nothing. I mean, folks, doesn't that look just dynamite? It looks super awesome. I want you to try this. It's a super easy recipe. Tastes fabulous. Okay, I'm getting the angle it different. There we go. How's that? Oh, look at that. There we go. How do you like that, folks? Tess, you're absolutely welcome. Yeah, you can do this any way you want. You can have it with any. I'm working on my angles. There we go. Beautiful. Without pouring everything. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, kid-friendly, kid-fun. They can help you assemble. They can help you slice up the ingredients. You can prep ahead. I want to get all the barriers out of the way. Get your friends involved. Get your family involved. Get your friends' family involved. Have them help you make your cooking experience enjoyable, delicious, nourishing, and repeatable, sustainable. In today's world, we need to be able to do more of this stuff with enjoyment and confidence. So that's why we're doing this show. Again, it's to give you the skills, the confidence, get some stress out of your life with some easy meal planning, and to teach you how to make great, tasty, nourishing foods that work for you and not just feed yourself, okay? All right, folks. Well, I so appreciate you participating tonight. I can't wait to see your pictures of your finished product, okay? Submit your pictures. It's going to be great. Now, before I leave for the night, make sure that you connect with us on Facebook here, Chef Marshall O'Brien. Subscribe, like us, pass it on to your friends, get them to do it, and on Instagram at Chef Marshall O'Brien. And again, we've got our YouTube channel now, so you can watch past episodes at Chef Marshall's Cooking with Confidence show. Past episodes and streaming if it worked tonight. Still don't know about that. But while you're enjoying your dinner with yourself, with your loved ones, whoever's with you tonight, I'm going to be serving up my beautiful wife and our limited crew tonight. Sir Alex in the back making it happen. I'm going to serve us up. We're going to have a great dinner. Thank you again. It was awesome to be cooking with you. I hope you have a wonderful dinner. Oh, next week we're going to be making enchiladas. I wish I had a thick accent. It would sound even better. But we're going to make awesome enchiladas next week. We'll be sending out the recipe shopping list for that. So stay tuned to see that and be a part of it. It's going to be great. Have a good night, everybody. You take care. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Grab a